Hey guys, welcome to this live session. So today what I want to do is I want to do a reintroduction of the display modules by 4D Systems. But before I get into that, one thing that I want to uh, say and to set some expectations before we carry on the session is that I am by no means a expert. I'm by no means an expert in the products by 4D Systems. Now, in the past, I have used one of their displays for one of my Internet of Things projects. I was doing freelance consulting in the past. I did a project using their displays. So I do have some experience with them. But on that note, I'm very much learning more about the products myself. And I think one of the things about having this lab series is that I want to be able to share some of the insights that I have as I'm learning about the products, and also share that insight and observations with you so that you understand how to maximize the products for these systems. Um, One of the things that if you have watched some of our previous videos a couple of months back, I actually did a couple of videos on 4D systems. But personally, I felt that those videos could have been better. Part of the reason is because I was really concerned about how my viewers are going to feel, the fact that, I'm learning about the products while I'm doing these videos. So over the last couple of months, apart from trying to work out issues with my Windows virtual machine, I was also trying to learn more about products. And even right now, I have to be honest that there are things about the products that I'm still figuring out. I'm still learning about them, and there's just so much to learn. And I guess that is it's a testament to the kind of potential that these products can have, right? When it comes to the kind of display projects the kind of projects that you have, that involves the use of a display, right? So for these systems, right, they do come in a couple of range of products, the displays itself. So I'm just going to give a very quick rundown. They have the Gen 4 displays, all right. They have the 4D cape displays as well. So you'll be able to see that there are these two over here. And let me just try and focus. Okay. Okay, so they have two types right now, Gen 4 and 4DK. And I did notice on their website that they have, I think, starter kits or display for Raspberry Pi. All right, so that's what I just saw when I was browsing that website. And we're going to take a look at their website later as well. Okay, so basically, Gen 4 smart displays, there are a few types, right? So there is the non-touch display, which is just a normal display. Right? They have the resistive touch as well as the capacitive touch. So what's the difference between resistive touch and capacitive touch display? Resistive touch displays, they um, require you to apply pressure, right, to interact with your fingers. So you cannot do things like swiping, the things that you normally do on your smartphone. As for capacitive touch, that is the kind of display that our mobile phones are made of. Right? So when you swipe the screen, it can actually detect the gesture of your finger, the movements of the direction of your finger. So that is capacitive touch. All right, so what you can see here, for example, the product code, DCT, all right, which the C in the middle represents capacitive touch. All right, so if it's DT, it's resistive touch display. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the hardware. And I'm going to, as I go along, I am going to share some of my thoughts about what I'll be doing in this series of live workshops. And I'm also going to talk about some of the project ideas that I have, that I plan on using these displays to showcase it and also use it as a way to um, share with you guys more about these products and how to build those displays, how to build those dashboards. All right, so okay, let me start by looking at the 4D Cape. Okay, this 4D Cape display is compatible with BagelBone. Now, hardware-wise, I am actually trying to talk to RS Components to get the hardware support from them. So at the moment, yeah, I'm still waiting to hear from them. In fact, so until I hear from them, yeah, I will let you guys know. But yeah, this is actually compatible with um, the BagelBone display. So it has, all right, so they have this FFP. I hope I get it right. Right, so it's basically the like a really thin cable that you use to connect to your smart display. This is the cable that I'm talking about. All right, so you plug the cable in here, and then the other end of the cable you plug it to the smart display. Right, so one thing to note is that the shiny surface of the cable should be facing upwards. Let me shine some light so that it can be clearer. Okay, so the thing is, I don't have a good camera to use, and I'm using a webcam, and sometimes the autofocus is really bad. So sometimes I just have to sort of do the adjustment myself. So I hope that you'll be patient with me. Okay, so yeah, basically this is the Gen 4 adapter. All right, I'm just going to plug in the cable. So if you read in the description below, you'll find that I have included a couple of links to two crowdfunding campaigns that I've created for Online Lab series. Now, the objective of the crowdfunding campaign is basically to raise money so that I can invest in the right tools that I need for managing the operations and activities on Online Lab series. All right, so when you plug in the cable, one thing that you should take note is that you have to secure the cable. One of the mistakes I made when I first started using the products was I did not press the sides, all right, this locks to lock the cable in. So how to know if you have secured the cable is that when you press it, you'll be able to feel a nudge, right? A feedback nudge that the thing is secure, the cable is secure, right? Next, to connect up to the display, right? Okay, you can see that the display has this socket here. All right, this is where we're going to plug in the cable. Likewise, remember that the shiny surface should be facing upwards. Okay, so that's basically how you connect up to the display. All right, so we will not be sort of working on the products itself right now, but we will do that, in the next session, the next few sessions. I just want to talk a little bit about the hardware that's available and what you'll find in the kit itself. You can find the link to the products page in the description below. You can check out the products that are available, the kits that are available as well. Now I want to also take a moment to just let the guys at 4D Systems know that I really appreciate this hardware sponsorship, this support that they have given to Online Lab Series. I know that things have been a little bit bumpy along the way, but I just want to say thanks for the patience and for the support and all that. So all right, so that is for the bagel bone display. This is actually for the Arduino, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is for the Arduino. So take the display. All right, so for the Arduino, I think if you get a kit, I remember I bought one of the kits before. So in one of the kits, they have the adapter that you can shield, sort of a shield, so that you can attach it onto your Arduino Uno or your Arduino Leonardo and so on. So these wires, right, these cables are to be connected to this Gen 4 interface, right? The Gen 4 IB. All right. So one thing to note is that they have this adapter called the for the. Let me just grab it and I'll be right back. Yeah, so they have this display, this adapter called the 4D UPA is the Universal Programming Adapter. So this adapter is the one that's going to be replacing all the other adapters that are available if you are using the older versions and all that. So just take note. So here you can see that it has the micro USB port, right? It has the FFC socket for Gen 4 displays. On the other side, they have the smaller FPC socket. This is for the IOD, or what they call Internet of Displays. It has a ESP8266 module embedded onto the display itself. So it's basically I would say, an all-in-one module. All right. Okay, so let me close this. Are you working on a Gen 4 display module at the moment? I mean, let me know in the comments. Yeah. So apart from these display modules, there are actually a couple of other things that they have as well. I want to talk a little bit about the MultiG. All right. If I remember the name correctly, MultiG stands for modules on the go. All right. So yeah. I'm just trying to shift the camera so that I can capture. Yeah. All right. Okay, so this MultiG, yeah, they are called modules on the go. Right. What I like about them is that they have different modules that you can actually plug onto this expansion board. Right, this expansion board. So they have the modules on the go slots, and they do have a couple of modules. In fact, let me see. They have Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. They have audio, sound, I believe, MP3. Right, so you can actually listen to music and so on. So those are available. So how the modules work is that what all you need to do is push the module into the slot. All right, and that's it. Okay, so you will need to connect the cable again from this slot here to your Gen 4 display. All right. One of the things that I would love to see as a maker and as a engineer and a thought leader in IoT, one of the things that I would love to see is that they would actually create more um, MultiG modules. So because the thing is this, all of these displays, right, the Gen 4 displays, they have the capability to operate on their own. What do I mean by that is that they are fully featured. So, in fact, you don't need to interface the display with a development board. By itself, you can build your whole project. It has PWM pins, it has PWM capabilities, GPIOs, analog inputs. So you can do a lot of things with the display module itself. But during this series of live workshops, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and build some projects that uses that interfacing with external development modules, development bots. And then I'm also going to work on a few projects that runs on just the display itself. All right. So when you look at this, let me know in the comments, what sort of project ideas you have for the displays. If you have one of these, if you have some of these displays, all right, or if you're working on a project that uses the 4D systems displays, let me know some of the ideas that you have, some of the things that you're working on. We can always exchange notes and exchange ideas. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to take some time and go back to the display. All right, so before I forget, I just want to show you the IOD display module. So this IOD display module comes with the Express-IF 8266 chip. So it's here, right? So let me see if I can adjust my webcam so that you can have a better view. Okay. see if I can adjust the focus. Okay, so there's this module here. This is the ESP8266 chip, right? So this module itself is both a display and it can communicate over Wi-Fi. And as of, I think yesterday, I actually received the product samples from Express If Systems. So there are some kits that they have sent me, development boards and so on. And over the next couple of weeks, I will be building some projects with their products as well. And along the way, I will be integrating the displays and trying out different things. There will be experimentations. Not all of the experiments will work. I'll be trying out different project ideas, and clearly not all the project ideas will work. So if I find something interesting and something that works, I'll be sure to share it in one of the videos, right, in the future sessions. Of course, we're going to learn how to work with this display module in the future live workshop sessions. Okay, so let's, in terms of hardware, let's start by talking about the Gen 4 displays. All right, so hey. Okay, so before I talk about the hardware, let me share my screen. Okay, so let me also maximize. Okay, so there are a few models. They have the non-touch model. All right, so they have a non-touch with bezel. All right, the CLB that you are seeing at the back of the product code is basically like the bezel that is around the display. All right, so they have the resistive touch, capacitive touch. They have the super bright variants. They didn't send me one of this, so I have no idea what it looks like. I have no idea what's the difference or the product experience. But I mean, who knows? Maybe in the near future they might just send me one of this so that I can have a look and have a feel of it. Right, so we will look at some of the product descriptions to understand a little bit more about the display module. Right, so what I have here, I have a resistive touch version and I have a capacitive touch version as well. So I have two of this. All right, so this is actually a 800 by 480 pixel resolution display, right? 65K true to life colors. It has a 4-wire resistive touch panel or capacitive touch panel. Those are the ones that I have on hand. Memory, all right, so 6 banks of 32 kilobytes. But let's take a look at the product page instead. Hang on, let me switch over to the product page. Okay, so let's look at products. I know that my system is a little bit slow. It's a bit laggy because my MacBook Pro's hardware is really not that good to support what I'm trying to do. I mean, it's good enough for me to do this session, to run this session, but yeah, it's the performance is lagging. So, well, with your support and backing of my crowdfunding campaigns, I'll be able to, afford a better Windows workstation, as well as better equipment, better camera, and so on. So that would be very helpful. All right, so let's look at the 5-inch DCT. One thing that I like about browsing the 4D Systems website when I'm looking for product information is that they put all the documentation, related documentation, together with the products on the same page. So it makes my life a lot easier, when I'm trying to look for information. All right, so as you see here, there are 6 banks of 32 kilobytes of flash memory, 32 kilobytes of user RAM, and then they have the 30-way FFC interface, right? Okay, so just like the data sheet, you might have seen this. Right, there are I2C channels available, SPI for the SD card. There are 3 more configurable SPI channels. There's 1 dedicated and 3 configurable TTL serial communication ports, 6 GPIOs, up to 6 GPIO for PWM, 10 GPIO for pulse output, 14 GPIOs for quadrilateral encoder inputs. All right, so you can see from the product description itself that this display can, in fact, um, operate on its own without an external development board. Okay, so we're going to go back to the PDF document. All right, so you can find the data sheet on the product page. All right, talks about the different pins that are available. Okay. So they have a lot of ports that are, a lot of their I/O ports are compatible and configurable as serial communication ports as well. So there are a lot of options to work with, which is good. When I look at the, where is the 4D UPA? Let me get my 4D UPA out. Okay, let me just stop sharing the screen for a little while. Okay, so you can see from the 4D UPA that there are actually 2 columns of GPIOs that are available. So when you plug in the GPIOs, you can see on the display, on the board itself, the programming board, that the adapter, that this section, all the pins that are available in this section is meant for the Gen 4 LCD display. All right. So the ones on the outside, the lesser ones are for the IOD display. So with this adapter, you have access to all the different GPIOs. So when you're programming, you want to interface with something external like LEDs, potentiometers, sensors, and so on. You attach them to these GPIOs. Right. Okay, let's go back to the data sheet. So one of the clear objectives for me as a product educator, my goal is really to do all the product research to really understand what are the capabilities, functions, and features of every single product that's available, or the range of products or model of products, so that by having the understanding, I can condense all of that information into knowledge that will be useful to you. All right, so one of the things that I realized when I am working as a product evangelist in the past is that not everybody has the time on the job to do product research, right? They don't go into the office for 8 hours a day and spend all 8 hours on product research. They usually don't have the luxury. So if they are coming to a learning platform like online lab series, the clear objective is for them to walk away with key information that they can immediately apply, and that will be useful and meaningful to them. Right? So no point, just going through the basic stuff. I can go through the basic stuff, and I will, but my main focus for this live workshop series is not just to cover the basics, but rather to cover the product applications. Right? So that is a very, very important factor, and that is something that you need to take note when you are watching our live videos or live sessions in the future. Right, so the data sheet that is available is really good. I think that for how many pages is that? 28 pages. It's really, really good. So I would recommend that if you have the time, be it during your research, product research time at work, you are working on a project, or on your weekends, if you are just a hobbyist, all right, take some time to go through this data sheet because it's really good. And then on top of that, what I will be doing is I will also be digging into the Diablo 16 uh, micro controller. I like to think that it's actually yeah, it's not a microchip, right? So it's a microcontroller. So it's actually a embedded graphics processor. So I guess in a way, it can do so much more, right? So than the normal MCUs or microcontrollers. So yeah, it's befitting to call it a processor. Right. So I will be digging into this. There's like uh, shouldn't be 34 pages. I think that's it's more. I think that's like this internal functions document. There's 491 pages. This is like a whole 500. So if I ask you to dig into this 500 pages of information on a weekend, you will not have time for your family. You will not have time for other things. So my goal is to dig into this, to understand everything there is to understand about the products. And then in our future sessions, I will explain um, like in a way that doesn't overwhelm you, but yet you can walk away with the key information and facts that you need to be an effective user and maker and developer with this body system displays. Right. So one of the things that I'm trying to build, an idea that I have, is that my mom actually wants to uh, give away or throw away some of the old appliances, home appliances. So my idea was that, I told her not to throw away. I plan to take those appliances, and then I'm going to hack them, and I'm going to sort of build some displays around the house and wire those displays to a ESP32 development board dev kit. All right, so and then let it all communicate back to the router at home. You can do a lot of interesting stuff with that. So home automation is one. I am actually reaching out to the makers community, and I'm asking for ideas as well. Getting people to sort of like, hey, let me know if there's an idea that you like me to create or you like me to build or experiment with that you want to deploy in your workplace, your industrial environment. So some of the things that I hope to do in the near future is to take some of the projects that I've created and actually test it out in a real environment, right? So that is hence the real world use cases. All right, so with that, I really appreciate that you've taken time to watch this video. I think that this 1 hour video, or I think it's more like 45 minutes, right? It's really good, it's fruitful. I think it's a good introduction for you to understand a little bit about products. Next week, next Saturday, I will resume this live workshop series, and I will talk about the software part of it. And I will also cover a quick getting started, or a quick start for you guys. You can follow along. In the meantime, if you like to follow along with the lab series, if you actually have some of the products that I've been showing, if you are thinking of getting the products, all right, or you are getting it right now and waiting for it to arrive, that's great. Next week when we start the practical hands-on, that is when you can follow along with this live workshop. All right, so thank you very much for watching, guys. I really appreciate that you have taken the time today to watch this video. And then I'll talk to you again next week. Bye.